Michael, first of all, we're going to have a look at the senior championship.
Hi Stevie, yeah, Group 1 there, Ardfinnan and Brackens, they were both winners in round 1. They play on Sunday at 4 o'clock in Cashel. Ardfinnan had a 1-8 to 10 points win over fellow South team Kilsheal and Kilcash. Darragh O'Leary got the all-important score there, a goal in the first half, which ultimately got them over the line. The Brackens had a rather easier 12 points to 6 victory over Grange Mochler. Grange Mochler had started well in that one. They were 4 points to 1 ahead, but then the Brackens took over and showed their experience, outscoring Grange Mochler 11 to 1 in the 48 minutes that followed. Jack Kindy was scorer in chief there for Brackens, and they'll look to him again this weekend. Dean McEnroe as well, also in good form. Billy Hewitt and Gary Cronin there, or Jerry Cronin there for Ardfinnan had done very well the first day. It was kind of a tonic win for Ardfinnan. They had kind of struggled over the last number of years. Last year they were third, I think the year before, maybe third or in around the relegation. So this is a good win. This will be a good opportunity for them to see where they're at now against Brackens, who would be obviously in the top 3 or top 2.
This is going to be a test, isn't it?
It will be, and Bracken's obviously a very good football team, and they were in the final 5 years ago. They were in the final last year and were disappointed last year with the nature of the loss. So they'll be looking to get straight back into a quarter final with the win here. So all the makings of a good game, but hard to see past Brackens. Yeah, the second game in that then obviously is the two losers from the last weekend, Kilsheal and Grange Mochler. Grange Mochler were without the three Lionses. They're all in the States. Mickey Lyons, of course, had scored very, very well for them last year, especially in the intermediate final against Arlo. So the three of them were big losses. I'm not sure if they're back for this weekend. Manus McFadden and Sean O'Mara had done very well for them, but I suppose 3 points from play isn't going to be any good.
That's unusual, isn't it? That's very low scoring.
It's very low. So like 6 points in total, three frees, 3 from play isn't going to win them any games in senior football.
I'm sure they're not happy with it.
Not at all. But look, maybe they'll come with something different this weekend. Kilsheelan, they had Jamie Roach in good form for them. They scored 10 points. He got 3 of them. Barry Keogh got another 2 of them. They have Mark Keogh back this week, who hadn't played 2 weeks ago because he was still in America. So he'll be a big addition to them. And he's probably suspended for hurling the following week, so he can give everything to the game at the weekend. It's hard to know with Kilsheelan because there's no relegation whether they're putting everything into it, but they'll be stung by the loss to Ardfinnan, so I'd be expecting to see them come out all guns blazing in round 2.
Next one up
on to Group 2 then, Stevie. This is the 3-team group. So up this weekend is Cahir and Upperchurch. Cahir beat Ballina 10 points to 8 last week, or 2 weekends ago. So they come in as winners. This is the Church's first game. The Church got to the semi-final of the championship last year, lost out to the Brackens, 113 to 112 in a very exciting encounter. They were reduced to 14 early in the game, AJ Shanahan getting sent off. So you just don't know what way they would have fared out if they had 15 for the whole game. So James Griffin in goals, and the Shanahans, Luke and Paul, and Dean Crew would be names that a lot of people would know for the Church. Cahir, as I said, they won 10 points to 8. They led by 5 points to 1 at half time and just carried that home in the second half. Ballina, they had started without Stephen O'Brien, and then they lost Charlie King and Owen Power throughout the game, but Cahir had Liam Casey back, which is a big boost to them. Liam, of course, had played with the Tipp seniors there for a number of years before he went travelling. Stephen Grogan got a couple of points for them. Conor O'Brien came off the bench early for them. Pa Quinn got injured and he came on and he kicked the frees. He kicked all 5 points in the first half. That's how early he came on, so they'll be looking to him for scoring again this weekend. But just on the nature of the way games have gone over the last number of years of football, you'd be expecting that maybe Upperchurch will come out on top here.
Yeah, slightly fancied, I would imagine. John, we're going to head over to Group 3.
Yeah, Stevie, this is a group of 6 there. You have 3 games down this weekend there. Mile Rovers against Killinall, Commercials against Lochmore and Arravale Rovers against Ballyporeen. They're, I suppose, first up there on Friday night in Clonalty at 7 o'clock. We have Commercials and Lochmore. Commercials, they are the holders of it, and Lochmore won their last title there in 2021. So I suppose if you go back over the last 12 years, with the exception of 2016 when Mile Rovers won the county final, it was either Commercials or Lochmore have won it, you know. So I think Commercials won 7 of them and Lochmore won 11. So that'll tell you, I think those two teams, I wouldn't be surprised even if they finished up in the final. Never mind that they'll definitely be in the semi-final in my opinion, you know.
Yeah, that's what you'd be kind of
you would, yeah. And look, at the last day out, Commercials, they played Arravale Rovers below in Banch and they bet them 216 to 8 pints. 215 of that came from open play by Commercials. That'll tell you the difference.
And Commercials only seem to be strolling.
That's all. It seems to be strolling in it there. Cian Smith there got in for 2 goals and 3 points, and you know that was the difference between them. So they will definitely take beating. So if you take Lochmore on the other side, they've defeated Killinall there the last day, and it's hard to know what Killinall are like. They didn't take part in the county league. They didn't play in the South Championship. So there's no relegation this year out of senior, so I think they're probably, you know, they're not putting as much emphasis into it. And now that they won the hurling and they're back on the horse again there after last week, I think, you know.
So I think it's fair to say, John, there's very little really to
very
go
little
on
in it. But look, if you go back to Lochmore there, you know, all the McGraths, you could keep naming them forever, like, you know what I mean. And what you call him the last day, got what did he get there? Liam Tracy. He got a goal and 2 points in the first half before he went off injured there, and he was really pulling the strings for Lochmore. But I think, you know, it's hard to call it, but I think Commercials will probably be good enough to get over the line in it there. And that brings us on into Mile Rovers, which I think will be probably in the probably another team that'll be in the semi-final. I think, you know, the way things are going. They are playing Killinall, as I said. Lochmore won their last of their 8 titles in 2016 there, and they played Ballyporeen the last day, and what do you call him there got 3 goals there. English was it, got 3 goals the last day, and they really had it wrapped up. And they had a fella there, full forward there. He was operating in the forward there. What the hell was his name? He was from he's a Kerry chap there. I mentioned him there. Dean English that got the 3 goals, yeah. Gerard Sullivan, he's from Tarbert in Kerry. He kicked 4 points from play the last day. Showed very well, a very lovely footballer to watch. And I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if he'll feature with the county later on the year. He's a young fella. He's working down around Clonmel side there, and he's living out in the Lisrona area there. So look, you'd have to fancy Mile Rovers at that one, Stevie, you know. And I think the other game then is Arravale up against Ballyporeen there. You know, we saw Arravale the last night blowing Banch against Commercials, and really, out of the 8 points they got, what you call him, Aaron Jones got 6 from free, so 2 points from play in a football game in a full hour. That's not going to win you much. Like, they seem that they're certainly not up to the Mile Rovers and the Lochmores and the Commercials. But I suppose, to me, out of that group of 6, there's 4 teams going through, so that 4th place I think is going to be Commercials, Lochmore and Mile Rovers, plus one of the other 3 is getting. So that's their aim, I'd say, at this stage, to finish and get into the quarter final. And I think that would be probably, if they do that, you know, I think that would be their aim for this year, because again, there's no relegation this year from senior football.
Okay, John, next.
What have we got then? We have the intermediate football
right,
there.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. So with the intermediate, if I could, I'm going to go across to Michael, and you're going to give us Group 1, and then I'll go back to John for Group 2 and 3. So Michael, Group 1.
Yeah, Stevie, Group 1 has on Friday evening there in Holy Cross, Galtee Rovers and Mine Temple Toohey are playing. Galtee Rovers got a walkover in round 1 off Mullinahone, so they're obviously going into this game as winners. Mine, to their credit, had a very good win over McCarthy. They won 10 points to 2. Mine had played 24 hours beforehand in the hurling, so this was, I suppose, they had lost that by 4 points to Airog here, and they went out the following 24 hours later and put in a very good performance to beat McCarthy 10 points to 2. So look, we don't have any real form to go on with Galtee Rovers. Obviously they were very disappointed not to get to play Mullinahone. They've had quite a bad run of walkovers and even that weekend they didn't get to play Junior B football, so it wasn't. They were disappointed with that, but Galtee Rovers were in the semi-final last year, and they're a team that I think are really progressing as a football force at this level, and they'll be looking to progress again this year, and I think they can, and I have a strong fancy for them against mine now this weekend. The second game is on Sunday at 2 p.m. in St. Pat's Ground in Cloneen. Mullinahone against McCarthy. Very hard one to call. Obviously Mullinahone didn't play. I presume they will play this weekend, and McCarthy looked very disinterested, only getting 2 points in total against Mine Temple Toohey. So look, I don't think either was a good look for the Intermediate Football Championship, and you'd hope that they go out this weekend and play a good game.
I'll be hoping for that. John, we're going to move on to maybe if you pick Group 2 first, and then we'll follow that up with Group 3.
Yeah, Group 2 there, you have 4 teams in that. The first game is on Friday night there, 7 p.m. in Sean Tracy Park. It's Feathert against Golden. You know, Golden survived last year at the last day of the season there. They beat Clonmel in that relegation decided there by the minimum, but they pushed on a bit this year now. A lot of the younger lads there that sort of came on late as the year went on last year, Golden, you know, they progressed and they've brought it forward this year as well there. The last day now they bet the Sarsfields there, what was it, 4-12 to 1-6. Now Sarsfields, you must remember, got to the semi-final last year and actually beat Feathert in the quarter-final and beat them well. So, but Golden came out there the last day. They got 3 goals in the first half there, and then they got another one straight after half time there. Sam Hall got 2 of those goals, and Aaron Coolahan and Jack Berrigan got the other 2, and Leamy chipped in there, Jack Leamy with 6 points, 3 of those from frees. Feathert in their opening game there, they beat Rockwell Rovers, which probably was a bit of a surprise maybe, but maybe if you analyse it another way, it may not have been that much of a surprise, because Feathert there, they're you know, they have young lads, a lot of young lads there, and I think they had 4 or 5 on that county under 20 team this year, you know, the panel, and you know, they're managed by Tommy Sheehan this year, and you know, he has high hopes for them, you know, but they got over Rockwell, you know, by 2 points the last day, so it's a hard one to call there, you know, but and I think, you know, Feathert just might have more intent on you know, getting promotion this year, so I think they just might shade it against Golden. The other game is Rockwell against Sarsfields, Rockwell Rovers. That's Friday again at 7 o'clock in Golden. As I said, Rockwell surprised the last day out by Feathert, but I suppose they kicked it away in the final 7 or 8 minutes there. They had loads and loads of chances there, you know, to pull back that 2 points, and they didn't. Terrible bad shooting, you know, and bad shot choices late on was the reason for that. They came down from senior last year, so you would have expected them, you know, to fare better in it. But look I think they will get over the line against Sarsfields, because Sarsfields, who won the county junior, was it 2 years ago there, and got to the semi-final last year playing good football. They don't seem to have the same impetus this year, because I don't think the mid-intermediate championship was even played yet, so they would have very little football in it, and I think, you know, Rockwell is going to be the winners there, Stevie, on Friday night. And that brings us there to Group 3, a 3-team group. Round 1, Atherlow defeated Commercial second team, and you know, again, it was Barry Grogan was the man that kept them in at 6 points there out of what was it, 1-9 to.
It was low scoring enough anyhow.
It was 1-9 to 7, but it was a low scoring first half, terrible first half, 2 points all after 30 minutes, you know. But I suppose the turning point in that game was Jack O'Halloran there, an opportunist goal there, bad kick out from Commercials there was intercepted back of the net, that got him over the line. Éire Óg is their first game of the season. Éire Óg didn't play in the County League, they didn't play in the West Championship or the O'Donoghue Cup, so it's their first football game, a competitive game of the year. How they will shape up, that will be anybody's choice, because they going so well in the hurling as well, and they have a big match against Cashel on Sunday week, so I think they might have one eye in that Cashel game going into it, but I think either way, I think Arlo would get over the line in this one, and I do fancy him to get over the line in it, Stevie.
Okay, Michael, let's back to you if I could. For the Premier Junior, we're going to look at Group 1.
Yeah, Stevie, yeah. Friday evening they're here in McCarthy at 7 o'clock. Father Sheehy's and Sean Tracy's. Father Sheehy's probably disappointing to lose to Cashel in round 1. The Tracy's lost heavily to Lockmore, so both of them will be looking to make amends here on Friday night. Tracy's struggling with a lot of injuries, and I suppose in the similar vein as what we've been talking about, are struggling a little bit in the hurling side. So I'm not sure how much football they will have played, and whether they'll have their Temple Derry contingent tomorrow evening or Friday evening. Father Sheehy's, they're just down from intermediate. They'll be looking to kind of try and bounce back up straight away, and they'll need to get a win here in this one. But it's a very hard one to call. Tracy's on their day can be a very good football team and have very good players, and if they had a full complement, I'd expect them to get over Sheehy's, but that mightn't be the case tomorrow evening. On Saturday then in Dundrum at 6:30, Cashel and Lockmore play. Cashel 2-10-8 winners over Father Sheehy's there in round 1. Devin Ryan getting a goal. I think, as John said on the radio there, the Monday after it, Garrod Slattery was back in goal after a couple of years absence and played very well for them. Cashel had a big panel on the day, and good to see Cashel back on the football field. And Lockmore 5-8 to 6 points. They scored. They won over the Tracy's. Obviously, 5 goals is good scoring. But it's very hard to know what Lockmore have. But I suppose their first team are going well, and they don't tend to use too many players at senior level if they don't have to. So there could be a bit in this Lockmore second team, especially at the moment. I'd like to see Cashel go and get a second win. It would be great. It would be great for them in football stakes. But as John mentioned, they have a huge game coming up with Rogue in hurling in 7 days after that, and that's probably where the focus is. So anyone carrying any niggles or anything like that probably won't line out on Saturday evening. But I'd hope to see Cashel come out on top.
Okay, John, we're going to continue with Group 2.
Yeah, Group 2. This is a 3-team group as well, Stevie. The opening game there, Mile Rovers defeated JK Brackens. Mile Rovers second team, JK Brackens second team, 113 to 110. And this weekend, Mile Rovers take on Clonmel in an all-South game. I would expect Clonmel to get over this one there. They were relegated last year, as I said, by Golden in the last day by the minimum. They would be anxious to get back up to intermediate again because, you know, they're a club that had fluctuated up and down there. It isn't so long ago since they were a senior team in Clonmel. Then they were intermediate and then to drop down. But look at again, it all depends how many. Mile didn't use too many the last day, I know, against Ballyporeen, other than, you know, what they had on their list. And so I think the Mile second team will be at their strongest anyway. So it's an interesting one how it will go. But I would fancy Clonmel if they have any aspirations at all this year of going back up, because I think they should be probably one of the favourites this year, Clonmel, and I'd fancy him to get over Mile there on Friday. That's actually tomorrow evening, Stevie, Thursday evening in Care. One of the only game that's on tomorrow evening. So that's on at 7:15 in Care.
Okay, gentlemen, we're here in McCarthy this evening. It's always great to visit around the division, and as you can see, there's a Camogie team just over there. They're young ladies, I'd say about maybe 14-15 years of age, and they're getting ready for their game. John O'Shea, Michael McCarthy, thank you again for joining me this evening.